Well, if you like, I've got a couple of calls on the line and some emails that we got and some other things I'd like to respond to. For folks who are still on the fence about calling in, we do have some open lines, 512-991-9242. But first, let's talk to Dean in Washington, yeah? All right. Dean,
Hey
you
guys,
wanted to talk about trans dating. What's on your mind tonight?
well, I don't, I didn't want to be one of your lovely hostesses, to be the only trans person talking about the subject,
Sure,
and
we appreciate
I
having
have
you.
a slightly different approach to, you know, dating as a trans person. I'm a
Sure.
trans man, and yeah, basically, I would potentially have sex on the first date if it was established that the person was, comfortable with the trans community, and even if something unexpectedly pops out, like, it wouldn't be a big issue, because for me, it's not. I don't necessarily have to come out to that person, but I do have to know their stance on what they feel about it, just to get a baseline. But usually when I ask out people, I've known them for a little while, so that's a part of me that I don't just like randomly jump into dates like from a 20-second like text exchange on Tinder. That doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Sure.
But if I am with a coworker or something, and I ask, hey, do you want to grab some coffee or do something like that, then I get to gauge their reaction a lot better. And
Yeah,
usually
so
that's
more
when
like pre-date
the sex
screening.
on the first date happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to make light of it, especially since I know that there's obviously a significant like differential impact and outcome. But it's worth noting that a lot of what you're saying boils down to don't fuck transphobes. And I feel like that's a good policy for all of us, cis, trans, or otherwise.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. Well, I really
Um,
appreciate you
uh,
adding your perspective tonight. Was there anything else that you wanted to make sure to walk us through?
yeah, I wanted to talk about the difference between pre and post T, if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
Testosterone. So for me, pre-testosterone, I wasn't super enthusiastic unless I got like really built up. But post, it's kind of like I'm more the initiator. And if I really like you and stuff like that, then I'll initiate a little bit faster than other people will, potentially. Um, but that can also have its downsides as well, because you don't know exactly like what the intention of the other person is, if they want to take it slowly, if they don't have that kind of experience or anything quite yet, even if they only suspect it, suspect that you're trans.
Yeah.
And I've
So I
been
want
in
to
a
make
couple
sure
of
I'm
dates
following you
where,
here. Like Phoebe was talking earlier about HRT being like a second puberty. You're describing here that like being on T means that you're going out dating the world with something of like the hormonal experience of a teenager. Yeah.
yeah, more or less, but also with the confidence and understanding of someone who's in their early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But not everyone
So
could,
I have
experience
to like
puberty
strike that
that.
balance between, being super hormonal, where it comes to, wanting more, and then understanding that that person might not be in the space to, be that person that might be able to become a partner eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you just kind of walking us through your experience and telling us another end of things. It everybody has different ideas of how to date safely, and it's very challenging to describe something that's going to work for everybody. But more than anything, I think it's important for us to recognize how different it is for like vulnerable members of our society. And so, Dean, I very much am grateful for you kind of walking us through that.
Yeah. And I'm really glad that she was able to speak her piece, and you guys got to ask your questions, and she's comfortable enough to actually, tell you.
Well,
Sorry, I'm
beautiful.
not good with names.
No, not a problem. We do have some other calls coming in as well as some written stuff that I'd like to get to, but you have a great night. Thank you so much.